YouTube, how's it going? Acre321 back again, and I wanted to show you guys this really cool Pac-Man board game that I picked up from a flea market a couple weekends ago for $5, and I thought that was a great deal. The box is in decent shape, it comes with all the pieces, the actual game itself is in alright shape, and for $5, if anything, it's just a really neat display piece, a really cool piece of gaming history, gaming memorabilia here. This board game came out in 1982. The Pac-Man arcade game came out in 1980, and let me just say, I love this box art on the front. I think that's really cool. But anyway, the arcade game came out in 1980, and before then, video games were obviously, people knew about them. The Atari 2600 came out a few years before that. Space Invaders and Pong, had a big following to them. People knew what they were. But Pac-Man was really the first game that had sort of a pop culture influence. They had songs about it. They merchandised the crap out of it with this board game and with cereal. It had its own Saturday cartoon. It had, everything you can imagine. It was just everywhere, and it was probably the first video game franchise that really just invaded pop culture. And I love collecting all these kind of pieces whenever I can find them. Any kind of gaming related pop culture pieces. Take a look. Nothing on the back of the box, so we'll open it up here. And the instructions are on the inside. But yeah, the game came out in 1982, and it is an interesting board game. It's pretty simple, but the fact that it's based on the game, it makes it pretty fun, pretty easy to play. So I got the game set up, and I'll just go over the rules really quick and show you guys how you play Pac-Man, the board game. So here's the actual board game, and if you've ever played the arcade game in any shape or form, I think they did a pretty good job at making it look like the arcade game. Obviously, it's not same exact layout. They had to make it work for a 4-player board game, but for the most part, with the blue walls and the pellets all around, I think they did a pretty good job. So let's put the camera down here, and we'll take a look at the individual parts to the game. Obviously, the main thing is there are 4 Pac-Men, I guess you can play as. There's a yellow one, a blue one, a red one, and a green one. You can see their mouths open, and we'll get to that in a second. There are white pellets scattered throughout the board. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but there's quite a bit. You can see in the middle, on the corners here, there are yellow pellets. These are like the power pellets that in the game would make the ghosts blue and you can eat them. And it sort of works that way in the game, but again, we'll explain that in a second. And then there are 2 ghosts in the middle. There's a yellow one and a green one. I'm not sure why they chose those colors, or if they differ from board game to board game, but that's the ones I got with this. And, but yeah. So basically how a turn works. Let's say I'm playing as the yellow Pac-Man. Obviously you're going to be yellow, because that's what Pac-Man's supposed to be. You can see you got a little kind of tray kind of thing, and the object of the game is to collect the most white pellets out of anybody. And how a turn starts is you'll roll 2 dice. You'll roll one of them, and you see I rolled a 2 there. So what that means is you can move 2 pellets, basically. You get 2 pellets, so I could move 2 to my right, 2 to my left. I could move 1 left and 1 up. Basically, you just eat 2 pellets. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1 over and 1 up. And as you can see, the Pac-Man actually swallows up the pellets. Still, it's a little hard to get used to. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly. But I think that's an interesting little gimmick that they kind of waka 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 all the way through the board here. It's kind of interesting. So my guy would be there. I got 2 pellets that turn. And then the second dice you roll, which I got a 3, is how many distances you can move one of the ghosts. And so what you're going to try to do is get those ghosts to attack the other players. I obviously don't have anyone playing with me right here, just me. So we'll move this yellow ghost 1, 2 over that way. And then obviously you would go in a circle and keep doing that until all the pellets are gone. And let's say I rolled a 2 my next turn. 1, 2, and I swallowed up a yellow pellet. Now, the yellow pellet is obviously a power pellet, like I said, and you don't have to use it right away. You can save it for whenever you want, but let's say, for whatever reason, there's a ghost like right here, the next turn, and I roll a 4, and I say, alright, I'm going to go ahead and use my power pellet. You get to choose when you want to use it, so you go 1, and okay, whatever. See, it didn't work there very well. Anyway, 1, 2, and because you have the power pellet, ghost is gone. And the ghost return to the middle. If there's a pellet under the ghost, you get that, which I did, but I'm knocked it over when I knocked him over. And then as a bonus too for eating that ghost, you get to take 2 marbles from any one player. So I don't know, I'll steal from green, we'll say. So I'll take 2 from his tray, put it in my tray, and then I have to return my yellow power pellet back where it was. So yeah, that's the basic premise of the game. You just kind of go around the board collecting the white pellets, getting the power pellets when you can, controlling the ghosts. So yeah, I think it'd be a pretty interesting game if you got 4 people together. Play it. I don't know how long it would take. I don't think it would take that long. It's not too complicated. The only complicated thing is getting these things to, chomp on the marbles every time. They get stuck in the mouth sometimes, or maybe, depending on your copy of the game, it might be broken. The classic Pac-Man. But I think I got a decent deal here. All these pieces are in pretty good shape. Some of the eyeball stickers and the ghosts are a little messed up. But overall the board looks good. It doesn't look too faded. But I sort of like the worn-in look. It makes me know, it lets me know that people actually played the game. And I think, especially for a board game, I kind of like that feel to it. So, yeah, just showing off a real quick video here. Just an interesting piece of gaming memorabilia. Pac-Man, the board game. So, thanks for watching, guys. And this is Naker8321, signing out.